when they're not running the ball effectively, like they did against Florida State, because they didn't really run the ball that well against Florida State. They're still able to be so dangerous offensively because of their passing attack. But that's led by Carson Beck and him making the throws that he's able to make. I mean, that throw that he had on the flea flicker, I mean, that was just nasty. I was very impressed with what I saw from Miami in their win over Florida State. I mean, yeah, they won 28-22, but don't look at the score and think that that actually told the story of the game. Miami dominated Florida State, and then towards the end of the game, Florida State put the gas on when Miami was starting to put the brakes on, and Miami, they ended up winning this game only by 6 points. But when you watch the game, you saw that this was a dominant performance by Miami. One thing that I was a little worried about, not totally, but just I had a small bit of concern, was Miami's passing game. I am not worried about Miami's passing game anymore. Carson Beck was tremendous against Florida State, 4 touchdowns, 20 for 27, 240 yards, 8.9 yards per attempt. That is incredibly impressive by Carson Beck. They also have a pair of really, really good receivers. I mean, Malachi Toney is fantastic. CJ Daniels is fantastic. I mean, look, Malachi Toney, don't shoot the messenger. I know a little bit like Tyreek Hill. I mean, this kid's only a freshman too. That's the craziest part about it. I mean, he might be the best receiver on his team, and he's only a freshman. And this is, to me, the second best team in the country. Like, that's impressive stuff. But when you look at Miami's defense and the fact that they suck the life out of opposing teams' offenses. Opposing teams are demoralized throughout the course of the game because they have to face the Miami Hurricanes defense. I mean, that defensive line is impressive. They're great at all 3 levels of the field when you talk about this defense for Miami. And they have Corey Heatherman, the defensive coordinator. He's doing some really good things there. It's so many impressive things that I'm seeing with Miami. And again, this is the 3rd time this year where they were in a big spot. They were in a big spot against Notre Dame, against Florida, and against Florida State. And they let the nation know that these teams are not as good as them. They are a tier below this team. And when I look at Miami, I mean, how are you going to beat this team, right? Unless you're Ohio State, how are you going to beat Miami? Offensively, they're multifaceted. They didn't do great on the ground tonight. They only averaged 3.1 yards per attempt. But that's the thing with this offense. I'm still not out on this offense when it comes to running the football. I still think they're one of the better rushing attacks in the country. But what Carson Beck was able to do over the air and how efficient he was, and the fact that they can protect Carson Beck and get the ball into the hands of these playmakers that they have, that's what makes the Miami offense extremely dangerous. They have multiple ways to beat you. And they have a veteran quarterback who's doing some really, really good things. And that was my thing with Carson Beck going into this year. I thought that, yes, there was a drop-off between Carson Beck and Cam. Sure, I'll say that. But at the same time, I never thought the drop-off was going to be dramatic, right? Like, I always thought that it was a small drop-off from Cam to Carson. And the reason why I said that was because Carson Beck's a veteran quarterback who played his entire college career in the SEC and who was a pretty solid SEC quarterback, right? Like, we see all these young, hot-named recruits come into the SEC and they don't play to the level that Carson Beck did in the SEC, right? But so now he's in the ACC. He's playing ACC defenses. And man, he's shredding these teams. He really is. I mean, so far this year, I think he has, hold up, because I don't think they updated this. 10 interceptions, or I'm sorry, 10 touchdowns. 10 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. I mean, he had an 197.6 passer rating tonight. That's just insane. I mean, in 3 of his 5 games, 74% completion percentage, 82% completion percentage, 91% completion percentage. I mean, like, what are we even talking about here? Carson Beck is showing up and he's really playing at a high level. And if he continues to play at this level, we have to, one, start talking about him as a Heisman candidate, which, by the way, I don't think we're talking about enough, right? I don't feel like enough people are talking about Carson Beck as a Heisman candidate. Like, if Miami goes undefeated, which, by the way, if you look at their schedule, who's beating them? I mean, you have Louisville, Stanford, at SMU, Syracuse, NC State, Virginia Tech, Pitt. Who's beating them? Nobody. They're going undefeated. They're going to go undefeated, and they're going to play in the ACC championship game. And who are they going to play in the ACC championship game is my question, right? Like, this team, they're good. But not only that, because we're on the talk of Carson Beck for Heisman. Carson Beck absolutely needs to be in the Heisman conversation because he's playing at a very high level. Not only that, like, his weapons are really good. No doubt about it. His offensive line is really good. No doubt about it. But he is elevating the play of his offense. And he makes Miami's offense such a pain in the behind to deal with because of the fact that when they're not running the ball effectively, like they did against Florida State, because they didn't really run the ball that well against Florida State, they're still able to be so dangerous offensively because of their passing attack. But that's led by Carson Beck and him making the throws that he's able to make. I mean, that throw that he had on the flea flicker, I mean, that was just nasty. I mean, you're talking about so far this year, 11 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions. I mean, he's going to end up this season, you're probably talking about 30 plus touchdowns easily with less than 10 interceptions on a 71% completion percentage. I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me. Is there somebody who has a better case to be the Heisman if that's his stat line towards the end of the season? I don't think so. I think that it's very much in play that he could potentially win the Heisman. And when you think about it, right? Carson Beck going to Miami was the best thing for his NFL future. And this is the reason why I say that. Look at some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, right? Let's just go top 10, right? Guys who you would put in the top 10. You have, in no specific order, Mahomes, he was a Big 12 guy. Josh Allen, he went to Wyoming. You have Joe Burrow, SEC, LSU, sure, but where did he start? In the Big 10. You have Lamar Jackson, ACC. Dak Prescott, SEC, true, like fair, played his entire career in the SEC. Jaden Daniels played in the SEC. Where did he start? Started in the Pac-12. Justin Herbert, Pac-12. I mean, you could just keep going down the list of guys in the NFL who are playing the position at a very high level, and they never played their entire career in the SEC for the most part, which makes you think, hey, maybe going to some of these conferences where you're getting the opportunity to throw the ball more against weaker defenses, maybe that's actually better for your progression as a quarterback, because we're starting to see all these big recruits go into the SEC and not many of them pan out. I mean, it's just the truth. I mean, Nico Iamaleava, that was looked at as some outstanding player. And he's in the SEC and he doesn't look that great. I mean, name me the SEC quarterbacks that come into the SEC, they're a freshman or a sophomore, and they really start to progress and show that there's something. It's usually guys coming in from other conferences, transferring in. I mean, you're the best quarterback in the SEC this year. Who is it? John Mateer. He didn't play his entire career in the SEC. It's just very interesting to see that. I mean, you could even look at a guy like Bo Nix, played his entire career in the SEC, went to the Pac-12. It's just some food for thought. Just think about it, right? I mean, even like, look at this. Bryce Young played his entire career in the SEC, played at a very high level, which I actually think makes that even more crazy that he was able to play at that level in the SEC from the very first time he took a snap in that conference.